The sudden decline in monarch butterflies has biologists concerned. They hope raising awareness will help.
Science reporter Viglienzoni tells us how the growing citizen science movement is getting people involved.
Of the 110 butterfly species in Vermont, there's one that really stands out, the monarch. But the state butterfly may be harder to find.
I would expect a very low population in Vermont this year.
That's because of a recent study showing that monarch numbers in Mexico were at their lowest recorded point ever.
There's been a decline for, going on past a decade now in the wintering grounds. But I was surprised at how small the wintering area was this year.
Extreme weather and changes in farming practices in the United States and Canada may be to blame.
It looks like, between drought and GMO crops changing sort of how milkweed is growing in the Midwest, that it's led to a big problem.
That's because milkweed is the only thing monarch butterflies eat, but many farmers consider it a pesky weed. McFarland says changing practices, like allowing more milkweed to grow, could turn things around.
It's not like monarchs are going to just go extinct tomorrow. That's not really what's going to happen here. But what could happen here is that this migratory phenomena could disappear.
Researchers tracking the monarch movement can thank citizen scientists for their work. It's part of a larger movement in the science community to have people log on to websites and tell researchers what they're seeing where they live.
A lot of the work we need to do, we couldn't possibly do with professional biologists because, one, there's not enough of them, and two, it would cost millions of dollars. So we can do really interesting projects to understand some of the conservation status of these species on the cheap by using volunteer help.
Through Monarch Watch, for instance, people can tag butterflies. 15 of the ones from Vermont have already shown up in Mexico. Other sites, such as the Monarch Larva Monitoring Project, show scientists the growth in individual areas.
We found about, I think it was an 80% reduction in eggs in corn crops from citizen scientists.
On the Journey North site, people document the spring migration live through monarch sightings.
You'll see them just explode up into the north.
And eButterfly, launched just last month, is the latest effort to engage the public.
And it's a way for us to track butterfly populations in Vermont and beyond.
In the meantime, they're hoping for good breeding conditions this summer that will allow the population to climb back up. Viglienzoni, Channel 3 News.
Since monarch females can lay up to 200 eggs at a time, McFarland says as long as there is good milkweed production and no disease, their population could rebound during their stay in Vermont.
And we'll have a list of those sites we mentioned in this story on our website if you would like to get involved.